Hello and welcome to this video, and on this video you're going to see some rock and roll punditry. I am of course a rock and roll pundit, as you know, famous YouTuber, but in the town where I live there is a legend in that town called Nick Townsend.
Nick J. Townsend.
Nick J. Townsend to be full. And he is also another pundit. I would say he's another rock and roll pundit. Now, you may think that in my town I'm very well known, but if you were to go into the town hall, for example, where they represent sort of this sort of thing, you would find that there's no picture of me in the town hall, but there actually is a picture. There should be, shouldn't there?
I think you've done way more than I have. So
but there's one of you, isn't it?
Yeah, and the only reason why there is because I've got far superior hair. There's nothing to do with talent at all.
I didn't want to mention his hair, but you probably noticed that there is something quite schizophrenic going on with Nick's hair. Now, what you'll be amazed, there's one thing to go around like this, but I've known Nick for over 30 years. We've known each other for a long, long time.
Without revealing our actual ages.
Yeah, I'm actually older than him.
30 is a nice,
over 30
polite way of saying it. Yeah.
So I've known Nick for a hell of a long time. He's a very clever chap. He knows the industry inside out. He's got a lot to offer young bands trying to break into the industry. So I thought I'd bring him on and we just have a chat about, because you've got a band called Week 13. So, I mean, you lot aren't going to believe this. Right, let's just start where it counts. Right, there you go. See, he's always ready to brand. Now,
your brand is your brand.
Your brand's your brand. Now, you're not going to believe this. How long have you had your hair and beard like that?
About 30 years.
Yes.
Pretty much, because I went to Amsterdam and I had my hair like the Predator. It's like that with dreads and the bit shaved. Well, I was in this industrial metal bar called the Krostronoff, and there was this lady dancing right next to me, real close, and she was doing all this, and she got her hand stuck in my dreads. And I thought, can you very carefully take your hand out so my dreads don't get disturbed? She was doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you crazy woman. And about 6 of my dreads fell off, and I was devastated because I spent loads of money on my hair. So I went back to the hotel we were at, and I said to my flatmate, "Do you remember Adam Moncrief?"
Yeah, of course I know Adam.
I went to Amsterdam with him, and he says, "Oh, sorry, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna be a baldy." Because I'll tell you what, I'll go. There's a pizza place downstairs. I'll get you a pizza, cheer you up. Anyway, I started getting rid of it. Right, he comes back up because that looks good. I was like, what are you talking about? I looked in the mirror and I'd only, at that point, shaved half my hair off. I hadn't done this side. And I goes, well, I'll keep it like that. And that's the genuine reason.
So there's all the best things in life. This is the first rule I'd say of the music industry. The first thing is, the best things just happen.
Yeah. And
you have to be open to them. Now, you know that on this channel, when I get philosophical, I talk about the great dialectic. And I believe that the reason why art and music's hard to understand, because there's two opposing things, you're always trying to balance them. Now, I feel that Nick, the reason why he has kept this for so many years is that this man represents the great dialectic, and I'm going to try and show you what I mean now. So if we were chatting to each other like this, if you just face off like that, right, so you're there like chatting away now.
Sound going that way for the camera.
Yeah. And if you see now, who am I talking to? I'm talking to a hippie, right? And that's basically, it's a hippie, isn't it? Then look at what I'm talking to.
A bold hippie.
How important is branding? Because I think you've not just turned your band into a brand, you've turned yourself into a brand somewhat, haven't you?
Well, I grew up with comic books, and Down There was an Eagle magazine. I'm Nick J. Townsend, I'm in Week 13. It's the same thing, I'm not Down There, but Down There was a comic strip. It was originally done years ago. It was a British comic strip magazine, and it was a sci-fi thing. Eagle was a comic. Well, there were lots of comics, but Eagle was the best British comic ever. It had the best logo, it had the best stories, and because it had so much respect, it had to maintain that. And if you're going to have a brand, you have to maintain that. I've looked like this for 30 years. I don't get a day off. I don't go, oh, well, I've got to be Nick J. Townsend today. I am Nick J. Townsend. I don't even think about it. Some people go, oh, does it take half an hour every morning? No, it probably takes about 50 seconds of a Bic. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Or some other brand, which is probably the lady ones.
The Bic, I would find the Bic is bloody not good enough for what you need.
3 blades.
Yeah, I would have thought that. And one of them bloody things that makes it all smooth.
But as far as branding, no, I brought up Eagle magazine. It's a British comic, and it was also the comic which housed other comics. Which there was a comic called Scream magazine, one of the best British comics ever. It died after about 8 issues, but the stories went to week 13. Went to Eagle magazine.
Yeah.
Now the stories I do are songs.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes I might cover another artist. So I didn't write that, but that's my brand would do my version of that. So that's why I said Eagle house stories of other comics. My band houses songs of other artists sometimes, and there's a bit of satire to what I do sometimes. And there's also the entertainment value. And I'm in the entertainment industry, and my job is to entertain. Sometimes I will piss people off. Sometimes I'll make people exceptionally happy. Sometimes people have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
You always make me happy, Nick.
Sorry, I swore then.
Yeah, you can swear a little bit.
I don't like swearing though.
Yeah. I know from my experience with my kids, if I'm watching a video on YouTube and then they swear, that's okay. The kids can deal with that. Maybe there's one 10 minutes late, but when they start effing and all that all the time, then you think, oh, that's...
People from Droitwich, a stereotype. Yeah. So that's an example of stereotypes.
Well, people from Droitwich.
Yeah,
they deserve it though, don't they?
They swear all the time.
So, if you want to know how I know Nick, I started teaching in 1993, I think it was. Nick was in my very, very first class. Now, as I've got older, I realised that music is deep down right at the centre of it. Music is so full of love and friendship and all these incredible things. The outside of it is basically shit, isn't it? But the inside is so lovely. And so someone like Nick, even though I don't see him all the time, we are linked in a bizarre way because of this sort of group history we've had. And I'm very aware of Nick's story. And so if I bump into Nick, the day Nick has chopped his hair off and he's no longer in a band and no longer doing music, I know that's the end of the world, you see. That's 28 days.
My prediction.
Yeah. And I'm not joking here, because the thing is about being a musician, I believe if you're a creative musician watching this and you're frustrated creatively, maybe your head doesn't work quite right like mine or Nick's, I can know that's the case. If you see the world in a different way, you have to create to keep yourself sane.
Well, you got to be consistent to yourself, and if you're having a lapse period and you kind of go, for some reason this month, I can't write. Well, you think of the best things you've ever done, and there's usually a reason why. It might have actually been something tragic that happened to you. I've got a single which has come out recently, and I wrote the lyrics to that, the best lyrics I've ever written. My dad passed away, and the undertakers came to pick him up, literally, and like they were going to take him away, and just I wrote that. I didn't just write it down there, but that was the thing that made those lyrics important. And people said to me, "That's amazing. Those lyrics are really deep and stuff." So you can say, well, to write that song, I lost my father. Who else shall I kill? You can't live like that as a songwriter. You go, right, as long as I kill people, I can write good songs. No, that's not the lesson. The lesson is something important, positive or negative, depending on how close you are. I love my father, so it's good. If you hated your father, and hate's quite a strong word, if you hated your father, you could have written a totally different song. It could be the happiest song in the world. And it's down to you as a person and being consistent to yourself. So the next song I'm going to write is probably going to be the aftermath. And because this is part of my life. So I'm writing about things that affect me, and I'm not going to do that forever. Eventually I'll probably go back to something else and just try different things. But if I lose that way, if I just shave all my hair off, something's wrong in the universe and the world will probably end.
Well, the thing is, it wouldn't end, but what will happen is that I know that there'll be no point in doing it anymore, and if I can't do it anymore, then that is like the world ending. And I know that's what I know with you. As soon as you walk through the door and I see you, Nick, and I'd never say this unless we were on video, but I know that you have to do this. And because
could you imagine that?
And so this guy has spent his whole life sustaining his creativity. And it's so, when I bump into one of my, and there's many of these guys walking around, when I see him, and he's still got, I don't have to ask you, I don't have to say, are you still doing the band?
Oh, that's, that's the one thing, you must hate this. You're still going? You're still going, right? When my heart stops, and I mean stops, I'm not going anymore, I'm dead. That's when I'm not going anymore. And
really?
Or if I shave my hair off. Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Well, you see, the thing is there was an interview with George Clinton. So he's sat there and he's like, I mean, the guy's like 80 now, but back then he was probably about 60, 70. He's got massive dreadlocks, multicolours, beards, the whole works on.
You expect it.
And somebody asked him a question like that, and he goes, you tell me when it's all over so I can take all this shit off.
Well, I mean, that's fair enough, because if you overstep your mark, you might have to do it. I'm fortunate, I'm quite happy doing what I do. I haven't had a horrible negative response yet, but that could happen. And some people might say, I think you should stop. It's not worth your life doing this anymore. Stop it. The thing is, I actually love what I do, and I've got no reason to stop. And if you don't love what you do, and this, we still go about branding, there's some people like writing songs, and I go, I'm trying to think of a good thing to write a song about, you know, and it's like, I'm looking for a strategy. Oh, what's a good angle? It's like, what? I mean, I can suggest things, but then they become my songs. And it's like, really, you've got to actually look at why you're doing this. I'm sure we all have examples of songwriting we can give and give advice, but this is the fundamental. If you can't write a song about something that's important to you, you have got a lot of trouble.
I mean, everyone I meet who's still going, who's still getting out there, has got a band that's successful, that maintains an audience for them. They always come back to songs. And you can get bogged down by the industry and get depressed by it, but as long as you can write songs and get your focus on that, and they mean something to you, you stand a chance. Now, one of the things with Nick that I found fascinating was he got his band up, he's out there, week 13. They've been around for a long time. They've done tons of stuff. Everybody knows them in this area. They gig all around the UK. You've maintained a following for a long, long time. Now, many years ago, and I feel like I'm almost going back 20 years, you got into creating promotional videos for your band, didn't you? And I can remember...
I said about 15 years.
About 15 years ago. And I can remember sat there one day. None of us were on YouTube. Maybe a few of us were on MySpace. It was that era. And his band brings this single out like they would do back then. But he made this video in the sort of trenches of World War One, right? And I remember putting it on and seeing what you'd shot in that trench, and then a bit later on, I think there was some TV show where they got some World War One.
It was ITV,
and it was not as good as what you'd done. I remember seeing the full bloody mainstream TV and shot this document, drama in a trench somewhere, and I thought it doesn't look as good as Nick. Nick's beating them, and I keep thinking that all the time.
People, I remember it won an award in London, and the crowd were speechless because we'd embarrassed them. It's like, you had a chance to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, World War II was how long ago?
Yeah, World War One, actually.
World War One, but it's going to we've actually just done one better than you, and we're just a bunch of woodwork kids. Yeah. So I had to learn about working with filmmakers.
But before we get to that, what in your head made you realise? Because I've said this to everybody, video's the most, if you've got a band, video's really important, isn't it? Because people see the band, they hear the band, they get the vibe of the band, you can expand on the storyline. And
it's all your senses.
Yeah.
Right? You look at Korn, right? Not everybody likes the band Korn, but I tell you what they do, ever since day one, you kind of go, right, they're all in the band. Right. Now, I know bands that are just starting off. Someone approached me and said, "Can you do a music video for me?" And I've kind of said, "Well, your band is your brand. You've got to sell yourself." And I go, "I've got this really far idea of me having a Victorian sort of house, and then these dancers come down and stuff, and then there's these slugs, and then there's lights." And I go, "Okay, what are you selling? What are you trying to do horror?" Yes. No, it's something happened to you as a child, and I don't know, you watch one of those period dramas that really messed you up, whatever it was. But the thing is, if that video doesn't sell the band, now in the World War One music video we did, I had half a head of hair because people didn't have half a head of hair.
Yeah, that's what makes it so.
That's why it stands out.
Yeah,
so
totally.
My brand, I didn't have to work too hard. I worked hard, but I had to make sure I fit in with the World War One surroundings. So I stuck out like a sore thumb, but I also blended in as much as I could because I was like a time traveller. And that's why that video did so well. And the song, not so much. It was a really bad song, if you ask me.
No, I was. Everyone was just going, "Am I going to be seeing this?" So what? Now we get onto this thing of if you've got an idea of what you want to do, you've got to be able to expand your skills. Because now Nick, I've hired him quite a few times to film videos for me, but to also film videos for other bands. I will put a little bit here of my old band Rain, which Nick shot the video for.
Are all your bands connected to weather?
No, but the Rain is and Frost is.
Just Rain and Frost. I was thinking, what's next?
But the best one was
Autumn.
It was the Zombies with Fi.
Well, I gotta say that was one of my favourites because you got to work with a lot of different students. And they were they embraced the challenge, and they all worked hard and they took it seriously. And if you're working with people on a set and they understand the vision, and to understand the vision, someone has to direct what it is to make people understand. And the really hard part of making people understand what the vision is explaining it in the most simplest way, but doesn't take too much time. And once I knew what you wanted, there's about 3 different videos I've done for you for different bands and stuff. And one of the essentials is the band has to know the song fairly well. But if anyone had a problem, and I think if I'm right, you weren't too familiar with the drummers on that day. So I said, okay, we can work around that. Which the bits that you know, it was like the chorus bits is fine. Okay, right, for any chorus section, that's when we're going to film you. And you can't work as a team to work out your strengths and weaknesses.
I've shot quite a few promo videos. You see, if you're drumming, what you're supposed to do is learn it note for note, then you play it exactly the same, because obviously you aren't really playing it, you're miming it, you see. Yeah. And when I'm faced with that task, I go, nah. So I turn up, and I've had to do this many a time, and then the director has to sort of try and work around me not knowing it.
Just work out what your strengths.
Yeah, but I got to be honest, is that when I watch a video that I'm in, and we're playing along to the song, and then every now and then I'm not synced up, I quite like it, because in the end, a promotional video is not a live gig, is it? There's something.
Well, you look at most of the MTV videos, I cringe, but I also love it when I see a lot of 80s, 90s music videos from MTV, because I go, oh, that quick flash of a guitar I know that's not the chord they're playing, because I can hear what chord it is. It's too high, and the hands far lower. It's not right. So that's whether that's autism or ADHD, wherever that is, I notice those things. So if you see a snare, but you hear a cymbal, right? It's all about senses. So I get that quite a lot. I think a lot of filmmakers in the 80s and 90s didn't have the luxury or time to do a lot of research. Like, right, we got 2 hours, get them in, hair, makeup, quick, film. Right, we got about 60 minutes to edit this as well, and we just did it because it was a money train. Go on, bash, try to get product out. Now people spend a bit more time making sure that the I's are dotted, because musicians seem to have an opinion more now, because they've seen all the history of cinema, all the things they want. So like, that solo, that one bit, it needs to be slightly changed. So you kind of go, okay, I'll do my best to make it change. And that's where artistic merit is deserved, because obviously if you've written that, nobody knows that song better than you. So I have to be told what I've done wrong, because I didn't write that. So I have to listen to the artist, and that's if I'm filming the artist.
So this is a really interesting journey of having your own band, and then because of needing to create videos, you doing it full out, making all these award-winning videos, absolutely top end, better than a lot of mainstream bands are doing. Then you get a name for that, so people start hiring you to put on the videos, because you're a very support of the local music scene as well. This guy has never charged top dollar for it. He works with the band. And so if there's anybody in the Midlands that wants a video shot, you're still doing it, I assume, aren't you?
I don't charge much. The reason why I don't charge much is because if I charge the amount that most mainstream people do, there's usually a team. And because I know I haven't got a team unless I bring that team in, I mean, I'm creating wages for people then. So thinking, okay, I can do this myself.
Yeah, and Nick's incredible. He just comes and he's got his camera in his hand, and this, I think this is the theme of this video, because I haven't touched on this, and this is a really important thing, because I'm a great believer that the best things come when you haven't planned them. And so me and Nick have literally just sat down and started talking. And I was going to
do suitcases over there.
Literally none of this is planned. So I was originally going to do something quite surreal, but now I'm talking to Nick and thinking about Nick. This issue of creative video for music, every band that comes my way, they can have some advice. And my advice is always stop thinking about the album, think of individual songs.
Yeah.
Right, then get all your social networking, say we got a new single coming out on that day, and then build up to that. And then you could follow that in however you want. And then on the release day, that release day is a video. Yeah. The track's on Spotify or Bandcamp, or it's over here. You might be able to even order it on CD, but that's all the peripheral. Your main product is your video.
That's how it's always been done.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I mean, let's take Queen or any of the artists that were known in the 80s. If there was a new album, I mean, I know there's different situations, like Queen, for example, they did the soundtrack to Flash Gordon.
They did.
Massive risk. You know what I mean? Because if the film bombed, which it kind of did, then that reflects on the band. But the soundtrack did so well, that kind of made people look at the film again.
Yeah, now the film's a classic now.
It's legendary. But the thing is, they released a music video to say, well, this is a good album. Yeah. If you haven't seen the film, here's a music video. It was a trailer. You know what I mean, how many films have you seen without a trailer? If I just said to you, there's a brilliant film called Sergeant Dredd, and it's coming out next week, you go, all right, yeah. Have you got a poster? Nah. Have you got a video? Nah. Just a name. You know what I mean? And just turn up there, and I promise you it'll be great for 2.5 hours. I'm investing 2.5 hours on a good feeling, but I like the title, I need more. And you need to do the same with you. Because if it's a bad trailer, if it's a bad poster, you have a bad attitude. You can't go, I don't want to see that. Yeah, and maybe it's the best film ever.
And bands don't seem to realise this, do they? That they really should be thinking product-wise in creating a video. When you say that to them, they're like, well, we're not video, we're not filmmakers, we're a band, that's what we do.
I hate that response. I so hate that response. Yeah.
And what's the answer to it, Nick? What would you say to people?
Wake up and think of all the artists that you like. They had to do this. And I can look at the artists that I enjoy them. I look at Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton and all those kind of artists. You kind of go, I just play the guitar. No, they do fashion. They do photo shoots. They do a lot of things I would never do to a guitar. Yeah, but all those things are the things that people remember many years later after they did them, because you have to create your own history and document it. And where photos were one way before we had moving pictures, now we have 8K cameras. Yeah, so you can be as creative as you want within the limits of your budget, but at the same time, you take it seriously. You don't need to spend millions of pounds to look like £1 million now.
So what would be your advice to bands that aren't signed? They're trying to get a purchase in, they're trying to build an audience, and I believe video is the best way to do that, you know, regularly, maybe once a month if you could, maybe every 2 months. Next single comes out, video, 2 months, video. Band says, venue wants to book you, there's our video. Oh, we'll book you because they can see you. So
I'd say your advice, because you hit the nail on the head when you said start with a song. That song is it's entry point.
Song.
You know what I mean?
So there's that song, and then it's song at a time. Would you say?
I'd say song, and if you're gonna have, let's say you've already recorded an album, or you're planning to record the album, but you've only got one song recorded, give that song a piece of artwork. Just give it something which shows that identifies that piece of artwork with that song, if you can. Okay, not everybody's into art. I actually started off as doing art at school. I never did music. In fact, I was banned from the music department at my first school. That's a long story. But a video is the 21st century way of doing things, but there's also the 20th century way of doing things. And if you can make a really good music video yourself, or know people that can do it for you, look at the things that you enjoy in your life that make you, that resonate with you. So if you're going to watch a television, there's a reason why you watch a TV, something that'll spark, maybe it's something niche, maybe like motor racing or something. You can go, I like cars, I like fast things, like whatever it is, there's something that you like that gets your attention. Well, if you're really experienced and you're knowledgeable of that thing, then why don't you just embrace that and make that your music video, make that your single, incorporate what you know. I don't like fast cars, yeah, but maybe that's a good idea if you really like spend. Oh, as well as playing this amazing guitar, I also really into sort of dirt track racing or something. Wow, have you tried combining both? I don't know. It's like, that's the thing. Some of these ideas are bad, but you got to sit and thinking, right, what can I do rather than just be a boring picture of a guitar? How can I make this more interesting? There's what you have, social trends now. There's hashtags and stuff. As much as I hate all that kind of stuff, some of it is very important. Sex sells. You know, this is the best side, the long hair. Most pictures you'll see of me that are published, it's this side, because sex sells and this side's sexy. If I want to be intimidated or something, I'd probably just use this side. But you know what I mean? You got to think of your image. And
if we're talking advice about filming a video for your band, or you're an artist filming a video for you, your advice is to be yourself, isn't it? So
yeah, I think
film
most
it in your
people
house.
think about that.
Film it in your house, wear your normal clothes, do whatever you do, and then to let people enter into your world. Because
but if you're gonna film it in your house and you are gonna bring people into your world, treat it with the respect it deserves. So make it as Hollywood looking as possible.
Yeah.
Don't just go whatever.
Anything, yeah.
But treat those areas seriously. I mean, there's if you look at Nirvana, there's a really early video. It looks like it's filmed in a bedroom cluttered with merchandise, kiss posters, everything, but I think that was actually someone's room. So they embraced that. They made it even more cluttered. Whether that was artistic interpretation, the filmmaker and the set designer said, "Yeah, we're going to make this look like some teenager's bedroom." Right? Well, Dave Grohl, we want you to sit in that part of the bedroom and pretend that this is your bedroom. Whatever it is, they embraced it. They didn't kind of go, "Can we do this in the studio?" Yeah, no, we've got a house for the day. Just be there.
It's really interesting. This is because we all know, I think, this thing that if you really want to be a success, this is the underlying thing about this little chat we've had, this impromptu chat. The idea that's emerged out of this is, if you want to have musical success, it doesn't matter whether you can virtuoso or not. It doesn't matter about this or this. You need the song. The song is about you. and you are the brand, and it's an exaggeration of who you are. So you've got to embrace who you are on a certain level, haven't you? That's quite hard for musicians to do.
The song is you. I mean, there are some people, let's look at Marilyn Manson, who did a really good cover of, like, say, a Eurythmics song. So he didn't try and go, I'm going to be the most Eurythmics.
I don't think the lyrics have to be about you. I don't think that the songs has to be subject matter about you.
But whatever it is, like your world, make it part of your world. So what Marilyn Manson didn't go, I'm going to look like Annie Lennox. He didn't do that. He goes, I'm going to be Marilyn Manson doing a Eurythmics song. Right, what does that entail? So he had to create a universe. He created his own universe. He went, right, well, I'm Marilyn bloody Manson, I am, yeah. So I'm going to look a bit crazy. Annie Lennox, not so much, but I'm Marilyn Manson. And that's it. You gotta take look at Aussie Osborne again. And we're bringing him up.
But he said, this is the power of this man.
Well, I think people take for granted that he's Aussie Osborne. There's things he did, like we talk about photographs and why bands do photographs. There's one photograph, when he passed away, I put up a photograph on my Facebook, and it's basically a picture of him holding a sign saying hell. And you know when people sort of like hike, and they'll say 20 miles or Washington or wherever they're hiking to, him having a tiny piece of cardboard saying hell was a really cheap idea. But that photograph says so much about him, that I'm the Prince of Darkness, I'm trying to hitchhike to hell. You know what I mean? It was almost like paying homage to maybe AC/DC fans with a highway to hell, but in one photograph, he said so much with one word. And you know, we obviously we don't want to see him get to hell. We hope he went to heaven, if that's the thing you think happens. But the thing is, artistically, he was on point with his brand. He was smart. He knew what he was doing, and he knew that would be an epic photo. Or maybe the photographer said, "Do this; it will be epic." But whoever came up with that, he agreed to it. Right, and he knew that would work for him, and it did, because it's still used today. And if you're just starting off, take your photos of your band seriously, because those band photographs could be used in 30 years' time. If you're just there picking your nose, or maybe that's a great photograph of you picking your nose or something, right? If that's your image.
If you're going to pick your nose, you embrace it wholeheartedly.
Do it better than anything else.
Do it better. That's the thing that I love about this. That's the production values, you know. Live with your ideas. I mean, one of your recent videos, you were actually on a spaceship up in space, which is hard to pull off, isn't it? You know.
During COVID as well.
Yeah, during COVID, you shot a video. So can you tell him how you shot that video?
Yeah, I went to a NASA Space Museum, and what it is, you got the schools that do the tours, and there's 45 minutes where you got to go 150, but you've got about 6 schools that do it in 6 days, and then there's a 15-minute break where those schools go, and then 6 more come in. So I had an all-day pass. I got a window of 15 minutes. Right, there's nobody here.
And they didn't know you were doing it either, did they?
No, they just thought we really love space.
So you bought a ticket to a museum.
They love space. They've been here for 6 hours. They must really love space. So I had a cinematographer there, and I had another member of the band there. Because you can't film. I did film some things, but I knew what I wanted. I had 15 minutes plus. Whilst we're waiting for the school's 45-minute tour, I was thinking, right, what we're going to do, when the next lot of schools go, we're going to go over here and do this and this. So we basically planned the storyboard. I kind of knew what I was going to do before there, but until I was actually in it. But like, I made sure we had a really good-looking space video, and people have said to me, oh, we didn't just did that. There was 4 other places we used. There was a space crazy golf place, and I said to the owner, it's my birthday today. Can I have a photograph taken with this cake? I didn't get a photograph taken with the cake. I was filming it. So happy birthday. And I'm just filming a scene for my music video. But they go, yeah, you're okay. You're going to have a pizza at the end and a beer. Yeah, probably. We'll do that. It's a restaurant as well. Yeah, we're just going to take a bit of a while doing a crazy golf. So if you can embrace what a set is, And I mean, like we said,
Do you find
filming
yourself
the house.
when you're going around different places? Are you looking? I mean, because I got it when I was first show around this factory. They were talking about turning it into a community centre. As soon as I walked into here, I had a vision for my YouTube channel.
I could see a horror film.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw this building, like you said about picking up things straight away, I thought, right, if I had access to at least 5 or 6 of these chambers, I'd just film a music video. But
I've had an idea for a film here, which is like one of those, ghost hunting reality TV shows but it's all and it's set up. So they've set it up, and the people come in and they're acting it all out, and they're filming it, and they've got all the people, but it is actually really haunted. So the things, they think it's really just part of that. Oh, this is really funny. Oh my God, that's a headless body. It'd be a comedy, but.
Somebody really got stabbed there.
Yeah, they really got stabbed, and they think it's just a part of the show.
Is that fake blood? Yeah, it's fake blood. Yeah.
Because the thing is, because Nick's right. Once you're in here and you've got a camera, bit of fake blood, dark. You could do it. You could come here with a bunch of people, improvise a bloody little film like that, couldn't you? And
you
and
just get all the elements. You work out what you've got. It's like working out what your resources are. Can we all stay here for 3 hours? Right. So what can we do in 3 hours? Right. The average video shoot is about 4 to 5 hours, I would say, for independent bands. And the reason why it's not some kind of godly figure which is set in stone or commandments, it's because basically after 4 years, people get bored.
4 hours,
and they just start walking around, lose interest in things. So if you don't get the thing done in 3 hours, you've probably lost the momentum. So come on, let's get this done, because whilst people got the energy, you want to capture that. After about 4 hours, I want to just go to the chippy down the road, and I'll be back in 45 minutes. It ends up being an hour and 15. Where's Sam? We need him for this. If people are waiting around, they get bored. What you're filming becomes tedious, and really those first 3 hours are the most important. I had to film Don Powell from Slade, and I could tell the band was starting to get a bit.
I was at the shoot, remember?
But do you remember me doing this? There's one point where I said, right, it's going to be the last take, right? And they did it, so do it real seriously, right? And when they did the take, I said, right, we're going to do one more. Because I said last take, I said that for a laugh, because I know you'll be really angry with me. So we're going to do it. Here we go. And action. And you know what? That following take was their best take, because everything was in time. They're going, bloody, who does he think he is? Who does he think he is telling us when to start and stop? Because they thought they'd finished for the day. So for me to sort of inform them, you're going to be here for another 5 minutes whilst we do another take. That most of the best takes in the final video was from the last take. Some of the best shots, because they look like they meant it. Now,
so when you're doing your space station thing and you've finally got your 15 minutes, it starts. You probably then got the shot. You had to get the shot, didn't you?
I had 15 minutes. I go, right, I've got to get this right. And if I got it wrong, I know I'd have to wait 45 minutes. I wasn't going to keep it on. So I'll get it done.
Got it,
That's it, we're done. I could have done with a second take, but that'll pass.
Yeah, you'll have to make it work. I've just shot an interview with Brian Tatler, and the conversation was really good, and he was telling stories. He'd met every single bloody band on his list, or toured with them. It's all great, but for some reason the cameras just kept going and switching up and all that. And I've got to edit it, but I know it'll be fine because the actual stuff's really good, so I'll be able to make...
He's got great stories.
He has, Brian's something else. This has been a very interesting talk. I think we've done it, Nick, and I think this will be an introduction to getting your band. So it won't be that, but that's what we're going to...
If you're a big Andy Edwards fan, you might like some of the things I do. Musically, my band is... your band is your band. WEAK13, all one word. And we're like a rock band. We are. We're a rock band, But we're a bit experimental. Sometimes I embrace the joke of us being a rock band, and I write songs that are bad on purpose.
Lovely. Thanks, Nick.
You're welcome.
Lovely.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, we could come over anytime and have a chat to them. Anytime you want to have a chat to Milot. You're always good on camera.
Check out Andy Edwards. Obviously you are, but check
They all know who I am.
Well, they should be. You're subscribers.
They're all subscribers, that lot. Well, some of them are. Right, let's go, so I'll switch it off now. This is professional, isn't it? Look.
Do you know the early pictures of Black Sabbath that we're all posting now because we miss Ozzy because he just passed away? Imagine if Ozzy said, no pictures, please. You know what I mean? Yeah, having the only photograph evidence you've got of him is from his 50s or something. I did No More Tears. You can all start taking pictures of me now. No, from day one, he made sure he wore the right costume. He probably went shopping, got some really cool crosses. I thought, I'll get that. You know what I mean? And it worked. And people go, this is the Ozzy Osborne cross. You know what I mean? What, the Prince of Darkness? Yeah, the Aussie Osborne cross that he wears. What Christian is it? Don't ask questions. That's Ozzy Osborne. That's it. That is Ozzy Osborne. I see a big cross. I then go, it's time to go to church. That's Ozzy Osborne.
Totally. I mean, there must have been some point where they had a band meeting and it must have been like, we need to get some really satanic clothes, like black. We need to get loads of black clothes. We get the big black moustaches, black clothes. So
like monks?
Yeah,
maybe like a monk?
Yeah, like that type of thing. And so that's what we should be bloody doing. So they all go off, right? And Ozzy's in one shop and he's looking through the clothes and he comes across it. I bloody found it. And Geezer comes out, what you got there? He goes, look at this is what I need.
I don't think that's going to work.
Geezer goes, that's a white silk top with tassels coming off the arms. How is that heavy metal?
We're supposed to be heavy metal, we
I'm
are.
bloody having it. I'm bloody having it. You know, I mean, I've done this thing today, right, with Brian Tatler. You're in good company in that chair, right? So we've had this one out.
You're Dave.
Look,
It's keeping your seat warm.
look, bloody tassel, white top with tassels. Yeah. What the hell's he doing?
But he consistently took his image seriously. Yeah, he probably adapted over the years and did various things with his hair. I think he had a mullet at one point. You know what I mean? But it's like everyone goes through minor changes. I wear gloves. Some people can't go, why have you cut your fingers? I didn't cut my fingers. I bought fingerless gloves. Yeah, but like, at least they're talking about it. You know what I mean?
And actually, we have to tell the Ozzy Osborne story, don't we? Because he went and tried to burgle a house one day, and so he puts his gloves on, you know, and he gets in there and he gets arrested. The police catch him and they said, how'd you catch me then? And they said, well, because your fingerprints. He goes, but I wore gloves. He said, oh, bloody hell, I wore fingerless gloves, didn't I? He couldn't do picking the locks with the gloves on. I mean, this is... And the thing with Ozzy is, because every video that I have done this week, we keep coming back to Ozzy. This is how big a deal this is for me. And you started this off talking about your dad dying. When I did my tribute to Ozzy, I ended up about 15 minutes on my dad dying. It felt like my dad dying. It reminded me that there was all these people. And Ozzy was such a lovely, warm man and such the real deal. He would stand on stage, God bless you, we love you, God, you know, that's what he was. He was just a big smile on his face, clapping his hands, singing there. And I keep coming back to this. Branding's so important, but Ozzy just branded himself, didn't he? He didn't put on any airs and graces.
He tried to the point of having to really waste too much time thinking about it, because if you're just going to be yourself, you just be yourself better than anybody else can.
Yeah.
I think he just embraced himself. I don't think he goes, oh, I've got to be Ozzy Osborne today. Yeah. I think if you know you are, you just be yourself, and he seemed to be very in touch with himself. Like he could just probably, you say action, and he'll probably...
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
He wouldn't have to go, oh, I need time to write a script.
Yeah.
No, he just, whatever. Just sit down, let's just do it.
Remember, I mean, you've seen Decline and Fall of Western Civilization, the heavy metal years.
When he's in the kitchen.
He's in the kitchen.
And he's just like, I mean, to be honest, there's some editing choices there to make him look crazy.
Yeah.
They're probably like, that's probably the fifth take. Probably, he's talking.
Well, they haven't got him in a graveyard, have they? He's basically trying to make some breakfast or something in his kitchen.
But can you burn your eggs on purpose? It looks better. He's probably an amazing chef. They probably made him burn the eggs.
I'll tell you one thing with Ozzy. There's a few interviews, proper interviews, usually radio or just audio interviews. And he's so clever and articulate and knows exactly what he's doing. And he says in one interview, I've heard, he goes, there's Ozzy Osborne and it's me, but it's an exaggerated version of me. And, you know, he said in the late 70s, he said he went into that exaggerated version.
Yeah.
He was the exaggerated version.